50 Cent has spent his career tearing down manufactured images in hip-hop, exposing industry myths, fake personas, and carefully staged rivalries. From correctional officers masquerading as street kingpins to label-engineered beefs designed for publicity, he has consistently positioned himself as the disruptor willing to reveal what others prefer to keep hidden. In recent years, leaked clips, resurfaced footage, and viral moments have reignited conversations about his past conflicts, raising questions about what these cameras captured and which major figures may still face exposure. To understand this pattern, it is necessary to revisit the rivalries that shaped both his legacy and hip-hop culture itself. One of the most infamous conflicts in rap history is 50 Cent's feud with Ja Rule, a rivalry that began in the late 1990s and evolved into one of the genre's most destructive battles. The origins trace back to 1999, when a close associate of 50 Cent allegedly robbed Ja Rule of a necklace. What began as a personal dispute escalated into physical confrontations in clubs, hotel parking lots, and recording studios, including incidents at New York's Hit Factory. The tension soon spilled into music, where both artists used diss tracks as weapons. In 1999, 50 Cent released Life on the Line, mocking Ja Rule's signature style and setting the tone for what would become a defining war. The early 2000s marked the peak of their musical confrontation. Tracks like Wanksta and Back Down portrayed Ja Rule as inauthentic and questioned his street credibility. Ja Rule fired back with records such as Clap Back and Hail Mary, but 50 Cent's relentless mockery extended beyond music. In interviews, he ridiculed Ja Rule's image, famously branding him a sucker for love, a narrative that many believe contributed to a decline in Ja Rule's mainstream momentum. One of the most volatile moments occurred during a 2000 hotel lobby altercation in Atlanta, captured in old footage that continues to circulate online. As technology evolved, so did 50 Cent's tactics. In 2018, he purchased 200 front-row seats to a Ja Rule concert, leaving them empty to create the illusion of irrelevance. He posted the image online with taunting captions, demonstrating how social media became a new battlefield for decade-old feuds. The rivalry resurfaced again in 2024, when Ja Rule claimed during a televised interview that he had physically bested 50 Cent early in their conflict, reigniting debate. Hip-hop commentators often credit this feud with solidifying 50 Cent's reputation as an untouchable force. Ja Rule himself acknowledged in a 2011 MTV discussion that the conflict disrupted his career momentum, stating he was finished with beef before serving a prison sentence. Another pivotal conflict emerged in 2005 with The Game, a situation that shocked the industry due to its rapid escalation and real-world consequences. Initially introduced to G-Unit by Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, The Game collaborated with 50 Cent on several hits. Tensions surfaced when The Game refused to publicly align with 50 Cent's rivalries during a radio interview, prompting 50 Cent to remove him from G-Unit Live on Hot 97. The fallout turned violent when The Game and his associates arrived at the station, leading to a shooting that injured an affiliate and additional gunfire at Violator management offices. A brief truce was announced at a Harlem press conference in March 2005, where 50 Cent emphasized unity and growth. However, the peace quickly collapsed. The Game launched the GUN campaign, releasing mixtapes and the infamous 15-minute diss track 300 Bars, directly targeting 50 Cent and G-Unit members. In a 2009 MTV interview, The Game later expressed regret, particularly for the impact on Dr. Dre's Detox album. Footage from the Hot 97 incident and subsequent press events continues to circulate, often cited as a turning point in East Coast and West Coast tensions. In later interviews, 50 Cent framed the conflict as a lesson in loyalty, reinforcing his reputation for cutting ties without hesitation. These early feuds established a blueprint for 50 Cent's career. Physical confrontations, strategic diss records, and public humiliation became recurring elements of his approach. The Ja Rule conflict demonstrated his willingness to sustain attacks for decades, while the situation with The Game showed his readiness to act when disputes crossed into violence. Both rivalries involved leaked footage, radio clashes, and evolving media strategies that transformed personal disputes into cultural flashpoints. The feud with Rick Ross highlighted 50 Cent's most creative and personal form of warfare. Beginning around 2008, after perceived slights at a bet event, tensions escalated when Ross referenced a fire at a home connected to 50 Cent's former partner in the track Mafia Music. 50 Cent responded by targeting Ross's credibility directly. He interviewed Ross's former partner, Tia Kemp, who confirmed Ross's past employment as a correctional officer, branding him Officer Ricky. This revelation struck at the heart of Ross's carefully crafted image. The campaign extended beyond interviews. 50 Cent publicly supported Kemp, assisted in publishing her tell-all book in 2009, and used digital platforms to amplify damaging narratives. Ross responded through music and insults, but the credibility damage lingered. The conflict persisted online, including controversial posts during Ross's health crisis in 2018, which drew criticism yet underscored 50 Cent's ruthless consistency. In 2023, he mocked Ross's album sales online, reigniting exchanges. Analysts often note the longevity of this feud and 50 Cent's financial and reputational tactics, which extended far beyond music. Fat Joe's involvement stemmed from alliances rather than direct provocation. After appearing on Ja Rule's New York, Fat Joe became a target. 50 Cent attacked him on Piggy Bank, mocking both commercial performance and physical appearance. Fat Joe retaliated musically and publicly, including a notable moment at the 2005 MTV VMAs. The feud ended unexpectedly following the death of manager Chris Lighty in 2012. Both artists honored him at the BET Awards, bringing closure. Fat Joe later revealed Lighty had wanted peace between them, demonstrating how loss can override long-standing animosity. Recent interactions show mutual respect, highlighting that while 50 Cent sustains many feuds indefinitely, reconciliation remains possible under certain circumstances.
We tell what people with the Rick Ross thing is too, because there's like a conflict with another rapper, and Bobby told me what you did was what everybody would want to do.
Right.
The guy was, I guess, what was he, just talking to you for nothing?
Yeah, he just came pretty much because the album came ready to come. He looked for additional publicity by, saying different things. And then he called me Curly. When you call me Curly, it's like, like Mo, Larry, and Curly. I'm Curly. I said, well, I created this character.
He explained the revelation calmly, revealing calculated intent rather than impulsive exposure.
I was a correctional officer, and he writes from the perspective of the biggest drug dealer in Miami. Now, we know Miami is a port when it comes through there, and we know how, people, like the way they love Scarface, his infatuation with that got him, he done created this new character. Actually, the guy name that he took, Rick Ross, Freeway Rick, he gets out next month. In 10 years, he's going to be knocking on his...
He admitted attention fuels relevance, showing he understands controversy as a currency in modern media.
Bad business is good when you, not at a time when you actually, your material isn't generating anything.
Right, because I didn't.
Oh, right, yeah. Right, so what happens is you're aware of him, so you're going to notice his record sales are super low. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because it's not enough for you to go buy his record because you didn't hear a song that made you feel like you should be interested. You just heard he was talking to 50. So at the end of the day, like, the record sales come in and they go, wow, so you really suck. It was just, you saw like 30,000 records.
He acknowledged limits, recognizing unchecked warfare can backfire and carry lasting consequences.
Yeah. Because hip-hop is the competitive nature of the art form. It always had battling as a part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? And if you got someone that isn't intelligent enough to draw lines, then we're in danger. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you got people that cross those barriers and those spaces, then you got it.
The Rick Ross and Fat Joe feuds reveal distinct dimensions of 50 Cent's strategic approach to conflict. With Rick Ross, he executed long-term character erosion by exposing past employment and exploiting personal relationships. By highlighting Ross's history as a correctional officer, 50 Cent attacked the foundation of street credibility, a critical element of hip-hop identity. He extended the campaign beyond music through interviews, online ridicule, and financial mockery, ensuring the narrative followed Ross for years. This method emphasized reputation damage over immediate lyrical dominance. In contrast, the conflict with Fat Joe relied on public humiliation and commercial comparisons. 50 Cent targeted Joe's sales performance, physical appearance, and industry positioning, using diss tracks and media appearances to keep the pressure constant. The approach was more traditional but equally relentless. Both feuds generated viral moments, headlines, and prolonged relevance, illustrating 50 Cent's awareness that controversy sustains cultural visibility even when musical output slows. Radio clashes and lyrical battles further demonstrate his adaptability. Cameron's dispute with 50 Cent ignited during a 2007 radio interview, highlighting how verbal exchanges could rapidly escalate into full diss wars. The conflict revolved around respect, sales, and identity, with both artists responding musically. While intense, it lacked the personal depth of other feuds and was eventually resolved. The tension with Nuz operated differently, involving generational pride and artistic legacy. Subtle insults, professional slights, and lyrical jabs carried symbolic weight rather than raw hostility. Together, these conflicts show how 50 Cent tailors his tactics based on opponent, context, and cultural impact. Whether through exposure, ridicule, or spectacle, he consistently demonstrates an understanding that conflict, when controlled, reinforces power within hip-hop's competitive ecosystem.
I mean, I'm just as guilty as anybody else for the murder of the rap game, you know what I'm saying? But it's a bunch of things. There's the corporate side of the business. They killed it, you know what I'm saying? There's also, we got too much hustle in us because there's so much bread in the rap game that we kind of get...
Unreleased records like Nuz Don't Body Yourself and 50 Cent's responses circulated underground, intensifying anticipation for conflict. What separated this rivalry from others was the respect beneath the tension, limiting escalation despite lyrical shots exchanged on both sides.
So we know it gave them a whole platform to stand on. So they're standing on a platform I built. And in some of the disses, they're saying, some of the stuff that I said. If you listen to Cam's thing, it was just pieces of ether put together, so they're standing on a platform that I helped build.
Nuz outlined firm boundaries, emphasizing respect and controlled competition during conflicts.
You have to make a certain amount of albums yet to be on in the ring with me. You have to have survived a lot. You know what I mean? You can't be an album or two albums, or you went platinum one time and you may have performed in front of 6,000 people twice in your life. You can't do that. That's not about. You gotta to get in the ring with me, you gotta be somebody in my weight.
50 Cent has openly acknowledged that his conflict with Nuz followed a different code than his other rivalries. In multiple interviews, he admitted deliberately avoiding full escalation, recognizing Nuz as a rare opponent whose credibility and lyrical history demanded restraint. A detailed 2024 YouTube analysis traced the entire timeline, highlighting 50's conscious decision to limit attacks out of respect for Nuz's proven battle record. He referenced how decisively Nuz defeated both Jay-Z and Cameron in earlier conflicts, framing that history as a reason to tread carefully rather than recklessly. Mixtape skits such as G-Unit's Hip Hop is Dead mirrored Nuz's album concept but lacked the venom typically present in 50's feuds. The response was symbolic rather than destructive. Over time, social media further reflected this evolution. In 2019, 50 posted a throwback photo captioned 1999 Queens and ******** S Nuz 50 Cent TBT, signaling nostalgia and shared roots. By 2023, he publicly promoted Nuz *** Magic 2 * album, showing that the rivalry had transformed into mutual acknowledgement rather than hostility. Fan commentary echoed this shift. Reddit discussions often contrasted Nuz's maturity with 50's historically aggressive approach, with some calling the feud embarrassing in hindsight due to its lack of true animosity. Industry voices reinforced this interpretation. AZ discussed Nuz's deliberate distance during the feud in a 2007 interview, suggesting restraint was intentional. A 2024 Medium article argued that 50 never fully disrespected Nuz because territorial loyalty to Queens legends constrained the conflict. The rivalry quietly ended around 2014 when Nuz bought out 50's Summer Jam slot, eventually leading to collaborations like * Office Hours in 2023. Since then, 50 has publicly praised Nuz, calling him a stand-up individual and recognizing his legendary status. These dynamics contrast sharply with 50 Cent's internal G-Unit conflicts, particularly with Young Buck. Unlike competitive rivalries, this fallout involved emotional exposure and power imbalance. Buck joined G-Unit in 2003, but financial and loyalty disputes surfaced by 2008. The most notorious moment came when a leaked phone call captured Buck emotionally pleading for reconciliation amid mounting debts and professional isolation. In the recording, Buck admitted financial struggles, apologized repeatedly, and expressed fear of being cut off from the crew. 50 Cent used the leaked audio strategically, portraying Buck as unreliable and emotionally unstable. The exposure served as a warning to other G-Unit members about the consequences of disloyalty or financial mismanagement. Court disputes continued into 2024 over alleged unpaid advances. Buck later claimed the feud was staged for publicity, which 50 denied, labeling him impulsive and dishonest. The conflict escalated beyond finances. 50 mocked Buck publicly, questioning his masculinity and targeting his personal life through social media. Posts comparing Buck to Lil Nas X sparked controversy, particularly given Buck's past relationship rumors. In 2020, Buck responded aggressively, accusing 50 of cooperating with authorities and implying possession of damaging information. A 2025 interview saw Buck discussing secret recordings and lack of support for his album, while online debates continued over the feud's authenticity and persistence. Observers note the stark contrast between how 50 treated Buck versus respected adversaries like Nuz. The Buck situation revealed a darker side of 50's tactics, where loyalty and intimacy became weapons rather than boundaries. Meanwhile, his feud with Jadakiss emerged through association with Ja Rule. Targeted in diss records, Jadakiss responded forcefully on Checkmate Asterisk, questioning 50's lyrical dominance and New York status. Unlike internal conflicts, this rivalry ended with mutual respect. Years later, 50 publicly acknowledged Jadakiss's skill, showing that while he often sustains feuds, he recognizes talent when confrontation remains balanced.
Between time, like the Jadakiss, he had put out some things
on you.
Yeah, while we was back, and look, he could really rap. Like certain part, look big. Even if the format didn't put it in a song, to make it feel like it's a problem.
Right.
What you said landed. Like I heard him was like, oh, yeah.
Was it Checkmate? A song called Checkmate?
Not that one. He had a few pieces.
Bring it up to you, though.
They can't look. No, you got certain guys that they really know how to rap. Like they really know how to do.
Unlike the Young Buck fallout, the Jadakiss conflict resolved constructively. Both artists eventually collaborated on tracks such as Asterisk Irregular Heartbeat Asterisk, proving that 50 Cent could reconcile with adversaries who earned respect through skill rather than sales alone. However, new disputes continue emerging. A Christmas 2025 podcast featuring Jim Jones, Maine Fabulous, and Dave East rapping over 50's beats reignited speculation. 50 responded on Instagram, calling them squatters and threatening to purchase their building, introducing financial leverage into lyrical disputes. Jim Jones responded defiantly in viral clips, dismissing 50's wealth advantage. A leaked call and diss track titled Asterisk Squatters escalated tensions, showing that even in 2025, 50 remains willing to manufacture controversy. These moments underscore the darker side of G-Unit fallouts. With Young Buck, 50 crossed beyond competitive hip-hop into personal humiliation, exploiting vulnerability and financial dependence. The leaked phone call was not warfare between equals, but a powerful executive publicly shamming a struggling artist. These internal conflicts served a strategic purpose. By making examples of former allies, 50 reinforced control over remaining associates and signaled consequences for disloyalty. Proximity to him offered no protection. Instead, closeness often intensified betrayal when disputes became public. This approach carried into the digital age. 50's transition from diss tracks to social media warfare marked a defining evolution. His Instagram became a primary weapon, allowing instant, viral attacks that transcended music. The Ja Rule concert stunt exemplified this strategy. Buying 200 front row seats was not simple trolling but calculated humiliation designed for maximum visibility. His reframing of Vegas residencies further demonstrated narrative control, transforming what once symbolized decline into business success. Even backlash worked in his favor. Controversial posts, including those during Rick Ross's health crisis, kept him trending, reinforcing his reputation as someone unconcerned with boundaries. Television ventures like Asterisk Power Asterisk extended feuds into scripted storytelling, embedding subtle references that reached broader audiences. As he transitioned into mogul status, 50 retained his confrontational edge, proving conflict remained central to his brand.
You know what? Just watching your last tour, bro, just watching that, what are we expecting in Vegas, bro? Like the final lap tour, they said it did like 100 M's.
Yeah,
but it was beautiful.
Vegas is different, you know.
Yeah.
Like you can, production-wise, you can do things you can't do when you're moving the set.
Right.
So
do you just leave it there pretty much? And
yeah, it's because it's just built for that room.
The launch of 50 Cent's FAST channel on Roku marks another stage in his business evolution, yet his competitive mindset remains unchanged. His partnership with Lionsgate provides hundreds of hours of content, allowing complete narrative control. This mirrors his feud strategy, prioritizing ownership over participation. Across platforms, his tactics vary. Instagram emphasizes visual mockery, while X enables direct verbal sparring, each serving a distinct role in maintaining constant visibility. Throwback posts with Nuz highlight strategic nostalgia. A 2019 caption referencing their Queen's roots subtly positioned 50 alongside a legend, while promoting Asterisk Magic 2 Asterisk in 2023 showed reconciliation as a brand advantage. In contrast, Young Buck-related posts reflected prolonged psychological pressure. comparing Buck to Lil Nas X generated controversy, mocked masculinity, and inserted 50 into broader cultural conversations. The "I Want My Money by Monday" video blended humor with financial threats, illustrating how debt became a public weapon. Industry reactions remain divided. Some praise 50's longevity and business intelligence. Others criticize ethical boundary crossings involving health, identity, and personal relationships. Reddit discussions frequently contrast his approach with Nas' evolution toward unity, with some calling the Nas feud embarrassing in hindsight. Despite criticism, the strategy works. His Vegas residency reportedly earned $15 million for 6 shows, and the final lap tour grossed approximately $100 million, proving audiences still respond to his confrontational persona.
Cool. I felt like they would be competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a good period for hip hop in general because they produce like better material faster.
Yeah.
It forced them to work.
That's what I said too. I was like, man, if these, like, I don't want to hear no more of my album coming out next year. We could drop 9 songs in 2 days.
His discussion of production revealed how business logic shapes his creativity. Vegas enables spectacle impossible on tour, just as social media enables attacks beyond traditional diss tracks. This technological shift mirrors the evolution of his feuding tactics. His comments on the Drake and Kendrick battle reflected a deep understanding of competitive hierarchy within hip-hop.
When you first hear Not Like Us, what do you think about that?
I think LA is different. I think LA culture, the West Coast is very territorial. I think that energy, when you can build the camaraderie within them, that you'll feel something here that you won't feel anyplace else. Okay? Like the East Coast is not like that.
Right.
Like they're not like.
When discussing rapid music releases, 50 Cent demonstrated sharp awareness of cultural momentum. He explained that dropping multiple songs quickly fuels engagement and dominance. Asked about Not Like Us, he emphasized regional identity, noting Lowe's Angels' territorial culture creates unity and intensity unmatched elsewhere. He contrasted this with East Coast dynamics, highlighting differences in collective energy. On whether competition produces better music, 50 was direct. Battles matter when opponents are evenly matched. He argued audiences want to see real competition, not symbolic rivalries. Regarding J. Cole's decision to step back, 50 believes staying engaged would have sharpened the moment. His views reflected decades of experience, reinforcing his belief that authentic conflict, when controlled, elevates artistry and cultural impact.
We want to see fight somebody that could actually fight you, like the top guy. And there's that's the same competitive energy that we see in the culture.
So on the competitive side, you think that Cole should have stayed in it?
Yes. Look, you said this. Look, you got ball players out there that are extremely talented, right? They're so talented that they don't have to work at it. Like they're just that good. Right. Same thing with the writers. You got the guy that's just that good that he says, and you go, oh, okay, you was trying to really like go for my.
The Jim Jones squatter situation highlights 50 Cent's ability to generate new conflicts while sustaining old ones. His threat to buy the building was not symbolic, but grounded in real financial power, signaling a shift from physical confrontation to economic warfare. This evolution reflects maturity in method while preserving the same ruthless drive. Leaked calls and diss tracks circulating in 2025 confirm that even approaching 50 has not softened. Each exposure adds to his mythology, whether revealing Young Buck's emotional call or fueling allegations about informants and secret recordings. He reinforces an image of someone who never forgets and rarely forgives. His legacy remains complex. He is praised for wit and business success, criticized for cruelty and ethical flexibility, respected for loyalty, and condemned for betrayal. These contradictions mirror hip-hop itself, a culture that values authenticity while rewarding performance, celebrates loyalty while glorifying individual dominance. As 50 expands his empire and continues provoking disputes, he embodies hip-hop's tension between progress and grievance. His story is not simply about callouts. It is about transforming conflict into currency and navigating the consequences of weaponized exposure in the social media era.